I'm Victoria Broussard, author of Our Comfortable Victim, and I'd like to do a reading for you from my book. Chapter 1. As I caught a glimpse of my reflection in the aluminum paper towel holder hanging on the hospital room wall of Montview Southwest General, my mind drifted to the exam scheduled for this week and next. How was I supposed to go to class with a black eye, a banged-up nose that spanned across my bruised face, and what I thought was a broken right wrist that had taken the brunt of my fall when I hit the ground? I kept asking myself this same question over and over, befuddled by the fact that I could find no worthy answer. What is the answer and explanation for why a person continually puts themselves in harm's way? How could I have allowed myself to be abused above the abuse I had already endured? Something wasn't right in my head. I had to get uncomfortable with this cycle at some point. What was once the darkness outside of me had become the darkness in me, the comfortable enemy in me. Just then I felt a trickle down my left nostril. My nose was still bleeding and my head felt like it was being crushed between two cymbals. The nurse came back in and handed me a clean compress. "The doctor will be in to visit with you shortly, Miss Delacroix," she said, rather unemotionally. "Thank you very much." The door slammed and I flashed back to the small apartment where I tolerated many arguments and rumbles with my boyfriend of 2 years, Maximus. For the past 2 years, he had set out single-handedly to drive me mad with his nonsensical, narcissistic jargon and manipulative tactics. It started with barely detectable verbal and emotional abuse and insidiously graduated to all-out degradation. Along with my bloody nose special, I got a side of 2 black eyes and a whopping headache to go. The punch knocked me off balance and I swirled around, landing on my wrist. This was the first time Max ever laid a hand on me. I was in utter disbelief, not so much at him, but at me, for not instantly calling the hounds on his bent behind. Why hadn't I called the police to have him handcuffed and arrested with haste for his unwarranted inhumane mistreatment of me? What was so wrong in my head that I allowed myself to be misused to this degree? Rocket science this is not. So what was my problem? Did I care in the slightest bit about self-preservation? Apparently not. Finally, "Hello, Miss Delacroix, I'm Dr. Shahan," he said as he sat on the universal black padded swivel stool. You know, the kind that's found in every doctor's office and hospital room around the world. He extended his medium-sized right hand that fit perfectly with my oversized girl's right hand. His hand was warm to the touch, not clammy and sweaty like many of the hands I had touched and had touched me. I liked the way his hands felt. "Nice to meet you, Dr. Shahan. I wish it were under different circumstances, that's for sure. Man, did I ever wish that. This Herculean-like creature was a dime and a half. I was, for lack of a better word, stunned. He was an Adonis. Simply stunning. He had a square jawline, dark hair, perfectly framed light brown eyes, and what appeared to be manicured fingernails. I wondered why he wasn't in hospital garb. It was a fleeting thought. Who cared why? He looked like he stepped out of GQ magazine. He made me forget I was in an emergency room, and my eyes began to wander. "Me too," he said as he flashed the pearly whites at me and hesitated. Miss Delacroix, can I have my hand back?" Oh gosh, I was so enraptured in my thoughts, I forgot to let his hand go. "Of course, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me." He sat down on the swivel-top chair. Darn it, I basket shopped. What's a girl to do? And to know what basket shopping is, you gotta buy the book. Thank you so much for listening to my reading of Our Comfortable Victim. Have a great day. Bye-bye.